Okay, this is the last of my day before the mock exam revision videos. Let's begin by remembering the timings. Question one and systems. Question one is 4 marks, 4 minutes, extract information. Question two is 12 minutes, 8 marks, language analysis. So you get 4 relevant quotations and you make sure that you use the evidence to drive the paragraphs. If you're worried, you zoom in and squeeze the lemon, squeeze the key words, the richest words of their meaning. You explain what those words mean and you explain how they show or answer the question. You talk about the devices used and the effects on you as a reader. You try to do that 4 or 5 times and make sure you're answering the question. Question 3 takes 19 minutes because you need to read the whole source. You need to glance at question 4 to look at the range, and you will carve up the source. Question 1 has a certain range. Question 2 has a certain range. And when you find this pivotal point, it'll help you predict where the main shift in question 3 is. So from question 1 and 2, you have some kind of opening. From question 4, you get this prediction of this shift. And then as you're reading, you find something to say about the ending. And you can write 1 or 2 paragraphs focusing on the shift and the ending. It's a trap question because it takes so long, but if you take it in steps and don't get trapped, you'll be fine. Question 4 is tricky. It involves a range towards the end of the source. It has this abstract statement from a student, so you have to figure out what's being evaluated and what's not. You need to use devices, but ironically, analysis is less important, and more important is explanation and evaluation. You get 4 to 5 to 6 key quotations, 2 extended, evaluative, analytic paragraphs, and you can achieve quite a lot in this question. It's worth a ton at 20 marks. We're hoping we can crack 12 or 14. Question 5, you're an hour into the exam. You only have 45 minutes left, but you have 50% of the marks. You have 5 minutes to plan and brainstorm a question, a story, 35 to write it, and 5 to edit it. 5 to edit because 16 marks are spag. If you go into the exam with a character and a setting and some ideas and are open in your imagination, you should be fine. Okay, so let's look at this question. This one, we'll just look at this extract is from the beginning of a novel by Graham Joyce. A young married couple, Zoe and Jake, are on a skiing holiday in the French Pyrenees Mountains. So the first question is 4 minutes, 4 marks, lines 1 to 5. We want to know 4 things about the surroundings, Zoe's surroundings. They're in the mountain. 4 minutes later, max, we come to the 12-minute question. How are Zoe's feelings being described? Well, let's just get the key quotations, shall we? If there are few moments in life that come as clear and as pure as ice, when the mountain breathed back at her, Zoe knew that she had trapped... Oh, that's nice. Breathe back is a metaphor, personification metaphor. Zoe knew that she had trapped one such moment and that it could never be taken away. Everywhere was snow and silence. Snow and silence. Why that repetition? The complete arrest of life. A rehearsal and pre-echo of death. Whoa. She pointed her skis down the hill. They looked like weird talons of brilliant red and gold in the powder snow as she waited, ready to swoop. I'm an eagle. I'm alive. So we have these quotations, and what we want to do is we want to zoom in, squeeze the lemon. We want to explain. We want to do device and effect, and we want to answer that question the whole time. And if we do that efficiently without being clever, I think we can get through things quite quickly. So here we are. Let's carve up the source now. Lines 1 to 5 are question 1. We get a little break here. We get question 2. Let's find out where this pivotal shift is, shall we? It's going to be... Oh, gosh, look, we learn a lot. In this part of... Okay, firstly, it's line 28 to the end. In this part of the story where Zoe and Jake are caught in an avalanche, we can't believe she's so slow to react because the warning signs are there and it's really dangerous. Wow, really worth reading. Question 4. It helps us a lot. Let's go back to the source. 28. There's going to be an avalanche. There's going to be an avalanche. She felt a small slab of snow slip. There's that first clue. The whisper of her skis. Periphery of her vision that Jake had come to a halt at the side of the piece and was looking back. Irritated by the false start they'd made, she'd etched a few turns. Okay. The rumble became louder. Ooh, that's what you're going for. There was a pillar of what looked like gray smoke unfurling. That image, it made her smile. So this is her reaction for question 4. Is it slow? She's just kind of happy. Then her smile iced over. Switch. Jake was speeding straight towards her. Her face was rubberized, and he mouthed something as he flew at her. Get to the side, to the side. She knew now that it was an avalanche. Jake slowed, batting at her with his ski. Get into the trees. Hang on to the tree. So she's kind of paralyzed. I don't know. Is she paralyzed with fear? The rumbling had become a roaring in her ears, drowning Jake's words. She pushed herself down the fall line, scrambling for traction, trying to accelerate away from the roaring cloud, breaking behind her like a tsunami at sea. Jagged black cracks appeared in the snow in front of her. She angled her skis towards the side of the slope, heading for the trees. But it was too late. So she is reacting. But too late. She saw Jake's black suit go bundling past her as he was turned by the great mass of smoke and snow. Then she too was punched off her feet and carried through the air, twisting, spinning around, twirling in the whiteout. She remembered something about spreading her arms around her head. For a few moments, it was like being agitated inside a washing machine. Turned head over heels a few times, until at last she was dumped heavily in a rib-cracking fall. Then there came a chattering noise like the amplified jaws of a million termites chewing on wood. And then black. Okay, so it seems to me we have this kind of peaceful, beautiful setting. And then there's a shift, there's something dangerous, and then the avalanche's devastation. That's the structure of the piece. It really isn't that. It's really something beautiful, something tragic, and then the consequences of that. I would say that's a very simple structure. If you get that simple structure, this shouldn't be hard, question 3. You try to make an effort to not, please do not analyze language. Don't write at excess. Don't tell me the story of the piece. Really, what you're looking for is to figure out what's the crux. Why has the author structured it this way? What do they want you to feel through this structure? I don't think her reaction was slow. The situation didn't sound dangerous to begin with. And sometimes when you are caught in a situation, you're stunned. That's how I would evaluate it. I already have the quotations. I did remind myself today that it's really good to read the question 4 before reading the source. It kind of solves everything. I'm in the last hour of the exam. I have to calm down and pull myself together. Write a story about a magical world or describe a place you think is beautiful. Both of these are really simple. A magical world can be something that's beautiful. The narration and the description isn't central. If it was me, I would make it my home, my life. I would say, what would the tension be? What would the conflict be? I would make it about my character's magical world and being exiled from it. So it would be my home, my family, and the magic, the beauty of it would be being forced to leave it or it being taken away from me and having to face that. That would be my story. And the climax would be what it means to be pushed out, and maybe looking through a window or looking in a glass jar, like a metaphor. It would be the end of a relationship. It wouldn't be me, Anurag, or Dr. Jane. It would be my avatar, who's my brother. So I could very easily put on that mask and explore the pain and emotion. The beauty would be the beauty of my life. Already I know that going into the exam. Me, I'm probably not going to prepare it. But for you, why aren't you preparing it? Why don't you have a setting ready to go? Walk into the exam with a character and a setting, and question 5 will be quite simple. In these videos, I've just gone through the last 3 papers in the exams. I really hope that you get some chance to actually revise. The timing is absolutely crucial, as you know. The vast majority of the marks are in question 4 and 5. If you know your timings and you know your structures and you know your processes, you're going to be fine.